So the crypto market had a nice dump, but then a nice recovery. I must say I'm very impressed as to how the Bitcoin and the crypto market recovered today. I'm really impressed at how altcoins held up significantly well as Bitcoin went down, especially after Bitcoin lost a key resistance level or key support level rather. Altcoins didn't really budge as much as I thought, but Bitcoin did reclaim a level. Right now, we do have altcoins up on the day. ENA is up. ENA is up 27%. We have SPX up 9%. We have just a nice amount of green across the board on the day. So let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's talk about what I see in the immediate short term. And let's talk about what I see happening if we can continue these higher lows. Like that's basically what we've been creating over the past few hours. So Bitcoin right now is sitting at 117,578. Like I said a little bit earlier, we came down to that $114,700 level. Got a nice pop back up to 116.7, but then we sold off again, coming down to create a higher low, though. This is what I'm talking about. We created a low. We created a higher low, another higher low. So what I want to see now is another higher low, and I really want to see us. I don't know if we're going to do this, but I would love to see it, and then I would love for it to happen because then I can get a better entry. I would love to see something like this, maybe coming back down here to create our higher low from here, and then we can go back up to our range high. So we had a range. We'll put an R here. We have range highs here coming in at about 120, and then we have our range low, which is coming in at about the magic number that we've been talking about over the past week or so, coming in at about 116.3 to 116 and a half. So we had this move. We've just been going up. We had a deviation. We came down. Range low, range high, range low, range high, range low, deviation back into the range. So now what is the next probable move? Back to what? Range high. So this is what we'll be looking for. And we'll be looking for, like I said, a higher low here to continue our path back up to that 120,000 ish level, which will be our range high. So I'm happy that this happened. I would have opened a massive long here at 112 because if we would have came down, we would have probably just started to create a new range. But I like that I like that we didn't come down here because that gives me added confidence that Bitcoin can start to go back to all-time highs before we get a rollover, which I'm thinking may happen mid-August going into September. We know August and September are have been very bearish over the past few years. So I want to see us possibly get back to all-time highs. Let's see if we can do this move here. We can get back to these range highs. Let's clean this up a little. We can get back to some of these range highs for Bitcoin, and then we can break out to all-time highs, because I think once we can get back to these range highs, we made this move here. We got some liquidity. Actually, let's go to the liquidation heat map. We had a lot of liquidity coming down here around that 115 to 114 and a half level. Came down, got some of that liquidity. Now the next hot move or the next hot zone is coming in what? Confluence with our range highs coming in at 120K. We can tell by how light this color is. This is where the most liquidations, the most short liquidations will happen. And if this happens, we'll have about 400, 500. We'll have a lot. We'll have a lot of liquidations here, which could possibly catapult us, to all-time highs. If these shorts start getting liquidated at this point, which will be something like a short squeeze coming all the way down from here, coming back up to here. Probably a lot of people open shorts down here. Now they're underwater. And if we get up here, they'll be liquidated. And then that could give us the energy or the thrusters we need to get past these range highs and go back to our all-time highs and beyond, which I think is coming in at about 125 to 130. So let's talk altcoins really quick. This is a really quick video. Like I said, Ethereum held up very, very, very strong today. We did come down to our $3,500 level yesterday, our major area of support, bounced, and today we really didn't get too much of a sell-off. in my opinion, so which is very, very good. I like to see that. So basically, after we came down and created this bottom here, or formed this low at 3,500, we just been creating like something like the same as Bitcoin, creating those higher lows for Ethereum. And I think Ethereum can possibly, if Bitcoin starts to get momentum going up to 120K with the strength of Ethereum, I'm thinking we can easily get back up to our $3,800 level and break this. This is what I want to break. Once we start to break this, then I think sky is the limit for Ethereum. I think all-time highs will come fairly quick. Hopefully, a lot of these all-time highs, let's actually change the color of this. Hopefully, a lot of these all-time highs come before we get some sort of a rollover. And it's not set in stone that we do get a rollover. It's not set in stone that we do have, excuse me, a bearish August or a bearish September. I mean, we could just keep going up from here, But I am looking for some sort of massive or major correction going into the end of Q3, Q4. So I'm not going, when it comes to trades, of course, I'm trading the market. I'm trading what the market gives me, and I am buying. I am starting to buy again. I am starting to buy altcoins on dips again. We'll talk about that in another video, but I don't want to go too heavy. I think the risk to reward here is a little bit lower after we got that pump. I want to see a bigger correction before I go a little bit heavier for altcoins. But Ethereum, I think we can get back to this, get back up to this 4K level, which will be the top side of our upward sloping trend line, the top side of the trend line, coming in at about 4,000 to 4,050 for Ethereum. So I like Ethereum as long as we're above 3,500. Ethereum is looking very, very strong. Solana also had a nice little dump coming down to our major support level at $175 perfectly. So we double bottomed right at that $175 level. And then we bounce back up to 185. Now it looks like we are trying to get back. Here we go. We're trying to get back above here, which we did. Hold this, and then we'll go back to our highs coming in at about 205, 206. Once we get past 205, 206, we keep talking about this. And this is the Solana move. This is not the Solana move from here to here. That's a significant move. That's not the move. That's not okay. Because the FOMO is in Ethereum right now. This is the move. We get here, get above this 206, 205, 206. This is the move. This is the move from 205 to 260 plus. This is the move that I want to catch. So, of course, I'm watching Solana. I'm watching, how it moves, what it's doing. But once we can do this, I want everybody to be prepared for this. And I want everybody, if you're a trader, I want you to trade this with me because we're going to make so much money when this happens. All-time high is coming in, I think, at about 280, 290. On an all-time high, 295. So I'm thinking we can get there. Of course, I see this here. This is coming in. What's this? 260. Looking at this 260 area, it's a target from 205 to 260. But if we get up here, I think sky's the limit. I'm looking at 300 to 400 once we can get somewhere in this area here. This means the market is very bullish. The market is very frothy, and I think Solana is going to get a nice chunk of liquidity coming in. If hopefully the market stays how it was. We got the Bitcoin pump, then we got Ethereum pumping, then we had some of our major L1s, some of our major coins pumping, and I think Solana is going to get a nice run. But this is the move that I want. 205 to 260. We're not going to be greedy. We'll leave a moon bag. If we just slice through here, that's different. But if we start consolidating, right here, then we'll make sure we take most of our profits out. But once it depends on the market too. You gotta gauge the market sentiment, even though it can change in a blink of an eye. I think that's the Solana move that I'm trying to get to, and we're gonna continue to watch. We're gonna continue to monitor, and I like the way the crypto market is looking. I like the way crypto recovered today, and I love the way altcoins are holding up in the face of Bitcoin dumping. And so this was a good sign for me today. So this is FD White. Make sure you guys like, make sure you guys subscribe. Appreciate everybody for watching. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Have a good weekend. We'll be back with it tomorrow. Peace.